Hey, y'all, it's been a while since I've done a video. Um, Let me tell you, this man is so ridiculous. It's like he keeps admitting to me the reason why he wants a divorce is because he felt like I questioned his decision, which is the dumbest crap I've ever heard. And when I tell him that, he's like, well, other things too. Okay, well, tell me the other things. But y'all, the things that he tells me are things that he's actually done to me and to the kids. And some of the others are things that I haven't done in a long, long time. When he brings it to my attention, I change it. I did everything I could to try to make him happy. Um, this man didn't have to worry about any of his work uniforms. I made sure they were washed, dried, hung up, and I would set his uniform out for him every day so he wouldn't have to worry about it. Set out his undergarments so he wouldn't have to worry about that either. You know, I cook and clean, I take care of him and the kids whenever they're sick. And if I don't do something, he has a fit, and it's like, okay, but why should I do it? You don't want to be married anymore. You don't want to be with me, so why should I continue to do the things that a wife would do for a husband? You're you're not my man. You don't want to be. You want to be free. You want to go out there and do what you want to do and screw over the next woman. You know, I've had people message me and tell me this is what he does. He's in love with getting married, but he doesn't like to be married for long. I am the longest relationship in marriage he's had. And that's because I put up with a lot of stuff. And I mean a lot. I put up with his insults. I put up with his lectures. I put up with the disrespect. You know, I put up with the fact that this man who used to give me all kinds of affection and love stopped doing it once we got married. Everything he did for the 3.5 years we dated, by our first year of marriage, he stopped doing it. He stopped caring about what I needed from him and was only worried about what he needed from me. You know, and although I love his kids to death, he allowed his kids to disrespect me for years. And I kept forgiving and loving anyway. But none of that mattered when I asked him a question, a stupid question. It shouldn't have been blown so far out of proportion, but it was. But like I keep being told, that's what he does. He lures women in, gives them everything they want and need. Then he marries them. And then when he's tired of being married, he'll come up with a reason to divorce the woman and move on to his next victim. I wish I would have been told this before we got married. I usually don't regret things in my life because I believe everything is a lesson and it makes you stronger and it gives you great knowledge if you learn from it. And I definitely learned from this, you know, but I regret meeting this man. I regret getting with him. I regret marrying him. I just regret anything that has to do with him, period. Except for the kids. I love the kids, and I will always love the kids. And because I wouldn't sign the papers that he wanted me to sign, he told me never worry about his kids again. This man is so narcissistic. He is so mean. And it's not even cool. And the thing is he can ignore me when he wants to, right? And I can't say anything or do anything about it. I can't feel any kind of way. He wants to be friends, but he treats me like crap. He talks to me like I'm nobody. Although the past week he's been a little nicer since he got an attorney um to try to force me to sign his papers. I'm not signing that stuff. I'm not doing it. Since you want to throw away 11 years for nothing, I'm going to get what I deserve. You know, and I'm not a mean, spiteful person. I wanted things to be fair and honest, and it's not. It really isn't. And he's not for compromise. He hates to compromise. He won't compromise. It's either his way or no way. And, it's crazy. You could be a submissive wife. You can give him everything that he wants, follow all of his rules, you know, take care of his every need, and it still won't matter in the end. None of it mattered. The only thing that mattered was that I questioned his decision. A dangerous decision at that. He didn't think about nobody else when he made the decision. He didn't think how it was going to affect anybody else or the consequences of that decision at all. And because I loved him and the kids enough, I asked him, why? Why would you do that? And that set off the whole chain of events. And do you know, he keeps telling me he doesn't understand why I'm hurt. He does not understand why I'm heartbroken. And he tells me that there's no way that a person can love someone so much that they keep forgiving them, move on, and keep loving them anyway. And, so I told him, that just shows me you know nothing about love and you never loved me in the first place. Because you do things because you love someone. You take care of them because you love them. You fulfill their needs because you love them. You forgive them because you love them. And you look past their flaws because you love them. But he doesn't get it. And then he gets mad when I tell him that. And like I told him, if you truly knew what love was, and if you truly loved me or anybody else for that matter, you would understand. That shows me you have no emotions. And he gets so mad and starts slinging insults, attacks my character, and attacks my emotions. Like, I'm not supposed to have any emotions, and I'm not supposed to be hurt. Sorry, y'all. One of my medicine alarms. Like I said, I'm a chronic pain patient. I deal with a lot. I am in pain all day, every day. Never goes away. A lot of nerve pain, back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, and then I have really bad muscle spasms that hurt. They're very strong because of the nerve damage. But anyway, I'm finally at a point where he could be by himself. I don't care. I still love him. Love don't just go away. When you love somebody, the love don't go away just because they hurt you and just because they wronged you. The love is still there. And I really, really hope he gets his karma, because I didn't deserve this. I've made mistakes. I'm not perfect. Everybody does. You learn as you go. And I've made mistakes in the marriage, and so has he. But I did everything I could to correct my mistakes and make sure I never, ever, ever made those same mistakes again. He, however, would just tell me he's a grown, forgive me for this, but that he's a grown ass man and nobody can tell him what to do. He's not going to change for anybody for any reason. That's what I kept being told. That's just like when I went to him with my problems, he told me he was tired of hearing the shit. He didn't want to hear about it. But I never once told him that. When he came to me with a problem, I was there for him. When he came to me when his friends or a family member passed away, I was there for him. When my family members passed away, he left me to mourn on my own. He wasn't there for me. He didn't give me any kind words. And in fact, this man who could tell every woman how beautiful and sexy they are, never once gave me a compliment in 11 years that we were together. Not one. And when I told him that I didn't care if he complimented other women, what I care about is if you don't compliment your woman or your wife, you should not be complimenting any other woman. He saw nothing wrong in what he did and told me if I had an issue with it, we could cut the marriage short, get a divorce, go our separate ways. That's the type of man he is. If I'm not okay with something, he's quick to throw divorce in my face. So I would just let it go. I was the type of woman, I didn't trip on him all the time. You know, I let him go hang out with his friends and drink. Didn't care about the time he came home, as long as he came home. But if I do one small thing out of the many things that he does to me, it's an issue. And he puts me down and he talks to me like I'm nothing. Or he'll just right out ignore me. But let me ignore him. Oh man, let me ignore him. If I don't like to argue. So if he sends me a message or he says something to me that I know is going to create an argument, I'll ignore it and I'll keep on going. I won't say anything. And he'll start blowing up my phone with text messages. Oh, we're not going to answer this and this, and that. And start throwing all these little things at me like, I thought you were better than this. Your shirt showing your true colors and all this other stupid stuff. It's like he's mad because I'm hurt. He's mad because I don't trust him. He's mad because I feel betrayed. And wants to tell me I show my true colors and all these. It's a normal reaction when somebody hurts you to feel hurt and betrayed and not trust that person. You've been hurt. You didn't do anything at all to deserve it, but they did it to you anyway. This is something I would never do to somebody. I would never, ever, ever hurt somebody the way he hurt me. And I would never, ever, ever do anybody the way he's done me. And I would never disrespect anybody the way he has disrespected me. But he feels everything he's doing is okay and he's not wrong for what he's doing. He really truly believes he's right in all of this. And when I keep telling him, how are you right when there were no problems? We weren't arguing. Everything was fine. We were getting along. And just 4 hours before that, we were laughing and joking and talking about sex. 4 hours later, you just start ignoring me because I asked you a question. And you start pulling away from me and treating me like I'm a nobody. But I see where he gets it from. Because some of his family members are the exact same way. Never once do they check up on my child, but they're quick to check up on the other two. Never once do they ask how my child's doing. Never once have they done anything for him for a birthday, Christmas, none of that. But the other two, they get all kinds of things. My son graduated, and he graduated with honors. My stepdaughter graduated the same day. My son got nothing from any of them, but she got the works. She got all kinds of gifts. She got a big cake and all these cupcakes with her name on it and everything. My son didn't get anything but from me and his dad. That was it. But I did for her, of course. I love her just like she was my own. But that shows you the type of man he is. I had to go out of my way during this marriage to make sure that my son didn't feel left out because he made it a point to leave him out. I did whatever I could to make sure my child didn't have to worry about his stepdaddy not giving a darn about him. The only thing he did for him was what he had to do. Food and a bed. That was it. Other than that, he didn't do nothing for my son. And it took me asking him why he never gets anything for my son for him to actually start doing that almost 3 years ago. And even then, my son gets one gift from him for Christmas, and that's it. But I guarantee he won't get nothing this year. But I always made sure I treated all the kids fairly and equally. He did not do that. He didn't do it at all. So I did what I had to do as his mom to make him feel better about the situation. I went all out for him so that he wouldn't feel left out. But see, you let this man tell it he's done nothing wrong. And like I told him, no, you're wrong. Oh, that was the other issue because I brought up the fact that he wasn't fair with the kids. Like I told him, if you accept me, you accept my son too. If I'm your family, he's your family. Just like your kids are my family, he's your family. But he doesn't see it like that, and neither does some of his family. I think there's only 3 people in the family that don't do like he does. They include my son. The rest of them, including his parents, don't include my son for anything. And I'm not supposed to be mad, and I'm not supposed to feel some type of way about it. Because then I'm wrong and I'm showing my true colors in his words. It's actually a good thing that this jerk filed for divorce. While yes, I'm hurt because I really, truly love this man, it's actually a good thing. Because I no longer have to put up with his narcissistic attitude, my way or no way. What I say, not as I do. I just really, really hope and pray that his karma comes back to him tenfold, and then it comes soon, like really soon. Because maybe he'll learn a lesson about how to treat people, especially somebody who loved you enough to do everything you needed and wanted, who allowed you to be a man, who allowed you to come and go as you please, who did everything for you and would drop everything for you, who always had your back, even though you never had mine. Because let me tell y'all, during my surgeries, this dude dropped me off and went to work. He didn't stay there with me. He didn't stay there for me. But when he was in his car accidents, guess who took care of him? Guess who was there for him? Whenever he got sick, guess who took care of him? Guess who was there for him? When I got sick, I had to take care of myself. After my surgeries, If I didn't do it myself, a friend had to come and stay with me until I recuperated enough to do things on my own, because he didn't help me. He wasn't there for me. And I was stupid because I stayed with him this long. I'll never make this mistake again. Ever.